There are certain habits that not only make you look older, but also cause others to treat you as if you're frail and weak. And the worst part is, most people are simply too polite to tell you the truth. As we age, some small, almost unconscious behaviors can quietly reduce our personal appeal, dim our confidence, and make us seem harder to approach, often without us even realizing it. The good news is, all of these habits can be adjusted. And with just a few small changes, you'll start to notice a big difference in how others see you, how they talk to you, and even how you feel about yourself. In this video, we'll share 6 common habits that make many older adults appear less vibrant, less confident, and harder to connect with, along with simple yet effective ways to fix them before it's too late. Stay with us until the end, because once you recognize these habits, you'll never look at aging the same way again. Instead of seeing it as a decline, you'll see it as an opportunity to refresh and renew yourself. And if you enjoy honest, practical, and empowering content like this, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video that helps you stay strong and confident with every passing year. Now let's begin. Number 1, neglecting self-care. You don't need an expensive or complicated routine to stay neat and pleasant looking. What really makes the difference is consistency and a conscious attitude towards self-care every day. A timely haircut, clean nails, and well-groomed eyebrows. These small details are clear signs that you're still alert and in control of your life. Mr. Harold, 79, was once known for his polished appearance and calm presence. But after retirement, he gradually let himself go. His hair was messy, his clothes wrinkled, and he didn't even bother brushing his teeth some mornings. "No one's looking anyway," he told himself. Then one day he ran into an old friend. Her concerned eyes startled him. That night, Harold looked in the mirror and barely recognized the man staring back. The next morning, he got a haircut, shaved, and wore an old sweater that had once earned him compliments. Strangely, he felt younger and realized that taking care of himself wasn't about pleasing others, but about honoring his own dignity. Clothing plays a role too. It's not just something you wear out of habit, it's a message you send to the world. A clean, well-fitting, and modern outfit can brighten the way others see you. Meanwhile, old baggy clothes that you wear, simply because they're comfortable, can make you appear more tired and unkempt than you really are. When you wear something that suits your current shape and makes you feel good, you don't just look better, you act with more confidence too. Your skin matters as well, especially as you enter midlife and beyond. At this stage, skin loses hydration and collagen quickly, leading to dryness, dullness, and lack of vitality. But you don't need anything fancy, even a simple unscented moisturizer applied regularly in the morning. And at night can make a noticeable difference. Your skin will feel more comfortable, look softer, and give your face a healthier, more vibrant glow. For those who keep facial hair regular, trimming can make your face look neat and your presence sharper, instantly improving the impression you leave. If you prefer a clean-shaven look, shaving regularly also has a positive effect. It brightens your face and makes you appear friendlier and more approachable. And finally, a detail that's often overlooked, but can make or break the entire impression: fresh breath and a clean body scent. No matter how well dressed you are, if your breath or body carries an unpleasant odor, the sense of cleanliness and care is incomplete. This is the final touch in presenting yourself as someone who values and respects who they are. Personal care is not just about looks. It's a quiet message you send to yourself and the world. I'm still alive, I'm still present, I still deserve to be respected. Start with the smallest things, and you'll begin to notice the difference in how others look at you, how you walk, how you talk, and how you enjoy every single day of your life. Number 2, dominating the conversation. Communication is not just about sharing thoughts. It also reflects sensitivity, self-awareness, and the ability to connect with others. However, as we age, there's one subtle shift that's often overlooked, yet it can deeply affect the quality of our relationships: the tendency to speak too loudly or to interrupt others during conversations. This doesn't necessarily come from rudeness or lack of manners. In fact, research shows that age-related hearing loss, known as presbycusis, develops gradually and often goes unnoticed. Many older adults are unaware that their hearing has declined, which also makes it harder for them to gauge the volume of their own voice. When the ears become less sensitive, the brain naturally compensates, often by prompting the speaker to raise their voice without even realizing it. On top of that, feelings of nervousness or the desire to prove one's sharpness and memory can sometimes lead to interrupting or cutting in like a reflex of self-protection, Mr. Richard, 74, was once a passionate public speaking teacher. Even after retiring, he loved sharing animated stories during family gatherings. But over time, his children and grandchildren grew hesitant, and friends avoided saying anything. Because once Richard started talking, no one else could get a word in, and his voice could literally make the glasses on the table tremble. At a school reunion, an old friend gently placed a hand on his shoulder and said quietly, "You still speak so well, but it's getting a little hard for us to keep up." That soft remark struck a chord. Richard got a hearing test and discovered he had lost nearly 30% of his hearing at high frequencies. After getting hearing aids and practicing more mindful speaking, he said, "Funny thing is, when I speak more softly, people seem to listen more closely." This shows that when we unintentionally dominate conversations with our voice, it doesn't just break the flow of connection, it can also come across as disrespectful. Communication is a two-way stream. If one side becomes too forceful, the other will naturally withdraw. So, how can you recognize and adjust this? Have you ever noticed the person you're speaking to frown slightly, lean back, or respond only with polite nods? These may be subtle signals that your tone or manner of speaking is overwhelming. Don't be afraid to ask a loved one, "Am I speaking too loudly?" That question is not a sign of weakness, but rather a sign of respect and self-awareness. If you suspect that your hearing may have changed, getting regular hearing checks is absolutely worth it, not just for managing your voice, but for your overall health. And when you're in conversation, let listening take the lead. Pause more often. Wait for others to finish and observe their eyes and facial expressions for feedback. Because ultimately, good communication isn't about how much we say, it's about how deeply we make others feel heard. Have you ever accidentally spoken louder than usual without realizing it? Or has someone ever gently mentioned something about how you communicate? If so, share your experience. You might already be on the journey to becoming a better, more balanced communicator. Number 3, wearing outdated or ill-fitting clothes. One of the things that often slips our attention as we age is how we dress. It's not because we've stopped caring, but because over time, convenience and habit tend to replace intentional choices. Across the US and suburbs, major cities, and retirement communities, you'll see many older adults still wearing clothes from years ago. Stretched out t-shirts, baggy jeans, or faded sneakers they've grown accustomed to over the decades. Why does this matter? Because clothing is not just about covering the body. It's a way of telling your story without saying a word. Whether you realize it or not, people form their first impression of you within seconds, and much of that impression comes from your appearance. A study from Northwestern University revealed that when you wear professional or well-put-together clothing, you're not only perceived more positively by others, but you also feel different about yourself. You become more decisive, focused, and experience a greater sense of control. This phenomenon is called enclothed cognition, how our thoughts and behaviors are influenced by what we wear. Mr. Richard, 81, who lives in Arizona, is a great example. A retired aerospace engineer, he used to dress sharply, but after retiring, he slowly slipped into wearing old promotional t-shirts and loose shorts every day. He joked that he just needed something comfortable to water the backyard in. Then one day, his granddaughter invited him to her high school graduation. Together, they picked out a light blue Oxford shirt, fitted khaki pants, and a pair of simple brown leather shoes. At the event, people stopped and complimented him. "You look so dashing," and in that moment, he felt like his old self again. The man who once led a team of engineers. From then on, he began paying more attention to his wardrobe, not to impress, but because it made him feel present, valuable, and connected to the world around him. So, how can you improve your personal style without feeling forced? You don't need to become a fashion icon or chase youth trends. Start with timeless basics. A few well-fitting button-down shirts, dark structured jeans, a lightweight sports jacket, or a simple blazer. Prioritize materials like cotton blend fabrics, light wool or linen, comfortable, durable, and good at holding their shape. Also, don't overlook accessories. A classic watch, a real leather belt, a clean pair of shoes, or even a newsboy cap can make you look polished without seeming overdone. And if you're not sure where to begin, don't hesitate to visit stores like J.Crew, Banana Republic, or even Target, places where staff can help you find pieces that match your body type and personal taste. Because the point isn't to look like someone else, it's to wear something that makes you feel confident, comfortable, and true to who you are today. And if you've ever had a moment like Mr. Richard thinking, I don't need to dress up anymore, try changing it up just once. Even a new shirt or a different pair of shoes might help you see life from a refreshed perspective. Have you ever had a moment like that? Leave a comment with the words number 4 if you're still watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic. And if you found these insights helpful, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so we can keep exploring new ways to live beautifully and positively at every age. Now, let's keep going. Number 4, complaining or criticizing. Too much. We all long to be heard and understood. But here's the paradox: sometimes in our efforts to connect, we unknowingly push people away. Not because we're unkind, far from it, but because of one very human, very common habit that can quietly exhaust those around us: complaining and criticizing too much. Imagine every conversation as an emotional stream. At first, the water is clear and refreshing, but if we keep dripping worry, frustration, and resentment into it over time, the stream turns murky and heavy. And even someone who cares deeply for you may feel the urge to step away and find clearer waters. This doesn't mean you're a negative person. In fact, the human brain is hardwired to react more strongly to negative input. Scientists call this the negative bias, a survival instinct that helped our ancestors avoid danger. But today, if left unchecked, that same bias can turn us into tireless fault detectors, spotting problems in technology, politics, society, and even in the neighbor's kids. You might think you're just sharing your opinion, but to others it can feel like emotional drain. They don't blame you, they just instinctively start thinking, maybe I need a little space to breathe. And this isn't just a feeling, science backs it up. A study from Stanford University found that listening to too much complaining increases the brain's production of cortisol, the hormone linked to stress and the fight or flight response. Just 30 minutes of hearing complaints a day can affect your memory concentration and problem-solving skills. In short, emotional negativity pollutes the mental environment, just like smog in a city. Take Mr. Walter 72, for example. A former history professor at a Chicago university, he once captivated students with his deep storytelling and unique insights. But after retirement, his stories gradually turned into laments. Young people don't read anymore. Society is falling apart. Technology's turning us into robots. His friends still loved him, but one by one they started calling and visiting less. Not out of dislike, but because each conversation left them feeling like they had walked through a rainy day. Then one afternoon, a longtime friend looked at him and said gently, "Walter, I miss the days when your stories made the whole room laugh. Lately, I just feel kind of sad when we talk." That comment was a wake-up call. No one wants to be the reason others feel heavy. And Walter suddenly remembered something he had long forgotten. His presence is a gift, but no one wants to receive a gift wrapped in gray. So how do you turn things around? You don't have to force fake positivity. The key lies in balance and in choosing your words with intention. For example, instead of saying, "Kids today are glued to their phones," try, "They take in information so fast. Nowadays, I'm trying to understand what's good about it." Instead of, "People used to be more caring back in the day," try, "I miss that closeness from the past. So now I try to bring more of it into my own family." You don't need to stop expressing how you really feel. You just need to say it in a way that makes people want to stay and listen, not find an excuse to walk away. Because human beings are naturally drawn to positive energy, even in small doses. A warm glance, a lighthearted story, a sense of humor in tense moments. And you absolutely can be the source of that energy, simply by shifting your focus from resentment to gratitude, from criticism to connection, a simple compliment, a kind story, a nod that says, "I hear you." Sometimes that's all it takes to make someone want to come back and talk with you again. Number 5, ignoring posture and body language. When we think of signs of aging, we often imagine wrinkles, gray hair, or declining health. But there's another signal, subtle, yet often more telling: posture and body language. And here's the thing, you may not notice it yourself, but others certainly do. Have you ever noticed how someone who enters a room standing tall, walking steadily, and looking directly ahead naturally commands attention? In contrast, someone with a hunched posture, lowered head, and averted gaze can easily be perceived as weak or disengaged, even if that's not the reality. This isn't just a feeling, science backs it up. A study from Harvard University found that open postures like standing upright, shoulders back, and making eye contact don't just make others see you as more confident and appealing. They actually influence your own hormone levels. Open posture increases testosterone linked to assertiveness and lowers cortisol linked to stress. In other words, good posture not only changes how people see you, it also changes how you feel about yourself. Take the story of Mrs. Eleanor, an 83-year-old former school teacher living in Oregon. She had always been energetic, volunteering at the library and attending book club meetings. But over time, she noticed people increasingly treating her like someone who needed help. Offering hands to assist her through doorways, giving up seats, or speaking to her in softer tones. At first, she thought it was simple politeness until she saw a photo from a recent gathering. In it, she was hunched over, hands clasped tightly in front, eyes downcast. "I looked like I was about to fall," she said. "No wonder everyone thought I needed support." That day, she made a decision not to overhaul her routine with intense workouts or expensive gear, but simply to become more aware of her body. She started rising from her chair with her spine straight, walking with more purpose. When speaking, she met people's eyes and offered a soft smile. Gradually, the way others treated her shifted too, with more respect, equality, and warmth. What's surprising is this: you don't need perfect health to develop positive body language. What you really need is mindfulness. Every gesture, every movement in daily life can become a powerful tool for expressing energy and confidence if done with intention. Imagine a fine string pulling gently from the crown of your head. Just that image helps you straighten your spine naturally without tension. When walking, avoid dragging your feet. Step lightly and deliberately, as if leading yourself forward with purpose. And in conversation, rather than avoiding eye contact or crossing your arms defensively, try meeting the other person's gaze with a gentle expression. Let your hands rest loosely at your sides or comfortably on your lap. This doesn't just make you appear more approachable, it gives the impression that you're fully present, open, and ready to connect. With just these simple habits, body language becomes a source of inspiration without saying a word. Because posture is not just about appearance, it's a silent message of vitality and presence. A few small adjustments each day won't just help you look younger, they'll help others feel more connected to you as well. Remember, you don't need to speak loudly to be heard. Sometimes simply standing tall and looking someone in the eye is enough to show that you are still here, strong, aware, and fully engaged in life. If you've made it this far and found these reflections meaningful, leave a comment with the words number 6 to let us know you're still with us. And don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you can keep discovering new ways to live beautifully, joyfully, and confidently at every age. Let's keep going together. Number 6, bad breath or body odor. We've all heard the phrase first impressions matter, and sometimes that impression doesn't come from what we say or wear. It comes from something we don't even notice: our scent. Aging doesn't just affect our skin or how we walk. It also subtly changes the way our body smells. The irony is this: while body odor often becomes more noticeable to those around us, our own sense of smell tends to decline with age. That means you might not realize your body is sending out a silent signal that causes people to keep their distance, and they likely won't say anything about it. Picture Mr. Richard, 76 years old. He used to be the life of every gathering. Talkative, full of laughter, always telling jokes. But one day he noticed something had changed. People avoided eye contact. Conversations ended quickly, and there was always a bit more space between him and others. No one complained, but the distance was clear, and it made him feel like he was no longer the man he used to be. It wasn't until his granddaughter, a medical student, gently mentioned dry mouth in older adults that he realized the issue wasn't his personality, it was his breath. Dry mouth is a silent but extremely common culprit among older adults. When saliva production decreases, bacteria in the mouth grow more rapidly, leading to bad breath. This can be triggered by medications for blood pressure, diabetes, or insomnia, or simply from not drinking enough water. At the same time, changes in digestion, metabolism, and even sweat can alter body odor. Sometimes it's just a matter of wearing the same shirt too many days in a row, or reusing a scarf without washing it. These small things add up and can send out a silent wave that others pick up on more than you might expect. The good news is, you don't need expensive colognes or a complete lifestyle overhaul. Just a few small changes in your daily habits can make a world of difference. Start with hydration. Drinking water regularly throughout the day keeps your mouth moist, helps with digestion, and cools the body from within. Chewing sugar-free gum or sucking on mild mints can also stimulate saliva and naturally freshen your breath. Instead of using alcohol-based mouthwashes that dry out your mouth, opt for alcohol-free ones that are gentle but effective. As for body care, you don't need anything fancy, just consistency. Shower daily. Use a deodorant that works for you and change your clothes, including hats, scarves, and jackets more frequently. And don't forget the hidden culprits. Wash your bed sheets, towels, and outerwear regularly. These are often overlooked, but they can accumulate strong odors over time. Think of personal hygiene not just as a matter of cleanliness, but as a form of presence. When you enter a room feeling fresh and pleasant, people will naturally want to come closer to hear what you have to say and to stay a little longer. Your body scent is part of your invisible calling card, and it's something you can absolutely take control of with simple, powerful habits. You know, sometimes the smallest things like fresh breath or clean skin carry the quiet power to shape how others perceive you. People may not say it out loud, but they feel it, and that feeling influences how they approach you, how they listen to you, how much they trust you, or even grow to care for you. It's unfortunate that some older adults, though, still wise and fascinating, gradually find themselves avoided not because they've lost value, but because of small signals they never meant to send out, like a neglected scent or breath that's gone unnoticed. The beautiful truth is, you can change that. You don't need a perfect appearance. You don't need expensive fragrances or trendy products. All you need is a little more self-awareness, a bit more care, and a deeper sense of self-respect. A clean shirt, a fresh breath, a bit of moisturizer in the morning. These tiny actions don't just make you feel more comfortable, they send a powerful message. I am still here. I am still confident. I am still living a life that matters. If you've stayed with us until now, it shows that you truly care about yourself. And that's a powerful foundation for aging with dignity, vibrancy, and connection. So don't stop here. Let me continue walking beside you in the videos to come with practical advice, inspiring stories, and thoughtful tips, crafted just for this remarkable chapter of life. Hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell today. It's the simplest way to make sure you never miss out on the tools and wisdom to help you live well, age beautifully, and savor every moment ahead. I'll see you in the next video.